How are you? Casey here. Welcome to everyone who's joining and, of course, my replay viewers. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me okay. Put a 1 in the chat. Am I coming in clear to you? If so, put a 1 in the chat. What's up, Casey? What's happening? Good, you guys can hear me okay? I am, of course, attempting to stream out from my office again. This time I'm trying to attempt from my 5G network. Let's see if that actually makes it better. So welcome, everyone. Hope you are abundantly well. I'm glad you're here. Tawana, welcome. Wonderful. Now, if this is your first time here, do me a quick solid, do me a quick favor, and put in the chat, teach, okay? What? 5G, what? Put in the chat, teach. If you've been here before, put in the chat, learning, okay? That's gonna help me to know how many new folks we have. Okay, welcome. Sorry, I'm just getting close to you, sorry. Star, welcome, Ninya, and all the others, learning, teach. Sun's Energy, welcome, welcome. I just scoped on Full Scope. Awesome. Free social media. That's terrific. Thank you so much for doing that. So do me a quick solid. Now I see that we have some new folks here. So this is what I'll let you know. My name is Casey Zeman. I'm the founder of a couple different pieces of software. Fullscope.tv, which is an analytic and marketing tool for Periscope. I do broadcasts all about building your business with the power of live stream. I also have a software called Easy Webinar, which also does live events and automated webinars. We have over 5,500 customers, and I love talking about this stuff for building a business and brand that you love. Today, I'm not talking so much, whoa, I'm about to like trip on my chair here. Today, I'm not talking so much about Full Scope right now, as I'm going to be talking about 2 different business strategies that will exponentially grow your business. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I want to talk to you. Yay, I got a chocolate heart. Awesome. That's awesome, Tawana. So here's what I want to do. I am going to be giving away, I'm changing up how I'm strategizing and giving away this book, the School of Greatness book. What I'm doing now is this. I am giving away this book to my most engaged person, the person that stays the longest, shares with their followers. The most important thing is if you share this with your friends and followers and fans. I'm going to be giving the School of Greatness book away, which is a great guidebook for if you want to grow your business, get outside of your own head and start to be as great as you possibly can, the greatness that's inside you. So anyway, it's a good book by my friend Lewis House. This is, that's a different one. No, this is the one I'm going to be giving away. But here's what I'm going to do. It's for my person that's the most engaged over a week period of time, 1 week's period of time. So the way you can win this is just coming to my broadcasts, sharing when you come to my broadcasts. Inside Full Scope, I'm going to go back and grab a date selection and say, who's my most engaged person over that date time? If it's you, you get the book, okay? If you don't already have it, you get the book. So what you can do to get the book is simply share news right here to your friends and followers and fans. You can click the little guy right here. You could click the hearts, and of course you can swipe right to share on iPhone and swipe up on an Android and share with your friends and followers and fans on Periscope, Twitter, and of course, I think I probably should have 1 copy from a scope the week before. You know, you're actually on the list, Tawana, aren't you? I believe you are. Okay, so let's dive into the content. Let's actually dive into the content, but of course, as I said, please share news of this to your friends and followers and fans. We're going to be talking about 2 things, 2 business strategies for, of course, building your business exponentially. How to exponentially grow your business. That's what we're going to be talking about. So, number 1, this is not going to be something that you probably don't already know, but let me break it down for you. So, number 1, one of the best things that I ever did in my business to grow my business. So, I went from growing my business to a low 6 figures. Okay, so I went from like, you know, growing my business. I was making about $250,000, you know, online selling my digital products to making 7 figures. How did I go from 6 figures to 7 figures selling my products online? It was all about changing the sphere of influence I was hanging out in. That was the biggest thing I could say. Changing the sphere of influence I was hanging out in. Now, how did I change that, and how did I get into different spheres of influence? That's the biggest question. Do you ever wonder how to get into a different sphere of influence? How do you raise the bar? How do you go into a different level of people and partnerships to work with? And anyone ever think that? If you're guessing that, put it in the chat. Change the sphere of influence that you hang out in. Thank you, Tawana, for putting that in there. So you have to change your sphere of influence in order to start building a bigger and better brand. And your question is, how do you do that? How can I get, the eyeballs of that person that I really respect, that I'm trying to have, promote me? That's what you're ideally wanting, right? You want that person to promote you. You're like, how do I get out of this bubble that I'm in right here and get into this bubble right here? How do I do that? How do I grow my business like that? Well, the biggest thing you could possibly do, the biggest thing you could possibly do is find the person that you want to attract. Find that person that is in a different sphere of influence. And just listen to what I'm saying here. You want to offer them something of value for absolutely no strings attached. Okay? Now, I know that's kind of weird and you're probably like, well, what do you mean by that? Well, so this is what I started doing to improve my business. Okay? I have a software, right? Easy Webinar. And last year, Easy Webinar was selling really, really well, but back in like December of last year, I was having to figure out, Casey, how am I going to grow this? Because I'm at 6 figures with this business. I want to grow it to 7 figures. What can I do to do this? What I started doing was very, very simple. I just started reaching out to the top influencers that I already knew. Like, for instance, I knew John Lee Dumas, I knew Devin and Melanie Duncan, and a few other people that I've made connections with. And I had their email, or I had their Skype, or I had their Facebook connection, right? So what I did is I started reaching out to them, and I noticed, hey, that some of these people didn't have, say, automated webinars running, right? They had live webinars, but they didn't have automated webinars. So I reached out to John Lee Dumas, and I said, John, hey, you know what? I noticed that you're doing these live webinars every single week. What do you think? Do you feel like you're kind of burning yourself out? What I'd love to be able to do is create kind of an automated system so you can profit and make money create automated funnels for yourself, right? That's what I wanted to do. So I got John on a call. So as soon as I said that to John, I offered up to say, hey, I'd love to talk to you about possibly automating your system for you, or talk about automation. So see what we can talk about, but have a brainstorm session about automation. I didn't say, hey, will you buy my services? That's not what I said. I didn't say, hey, you know what, I have this service that I want you to buy. I said, I just want to reach out to you. Hey, Miami, I love you. Hey, what's up? I want to reach out to you and simply say, hey, is there anything, I'd love to have a conversation about this with you. Yeah, exactly. So without nothing in return, right? You're not asking for anything in return. So I had the conversation with John. He and I got on the call. He was like, yes, I'd love to do this. What do you think I should do? I said, well, let me listen to what we should do. How about I work with you? I'll set up an automated funnel for you using Easy Webinar. I'll get on with your tech person and we'll just flesh this out. Did I say, hey, John, it's going to cost $3,000 to get this done? No, I didn't. And the reason I didn't is because his relationship with me is far more valuable than the initial income, the quick surge of money that I might be getting from him right now. Okay, that's one of the key points that that I want you to understand. That person's relationship might be more important to you right now, so that you can get case studies and build your business. See, case studies and testimonials are the absolute fundamental key to growing your business. And if you have someone that is in a much higher sphere of influence than you, building relationships, right? Offering your services up to their community, it's far more valuable than you charging that one-time thing, right? That's number one. Number two, and you can write that down if you want. Number two, this is really, really interesting. You're going to find this very interesting, that there's going to be a tipping point where you're also going to want to make sure that you are expressing your value, okay? Expressing your value. Now, I know I just said you're going to give away something for free. I know I said that. But at the same time, you're also going to want to, when you give away something for free, make sure that your value is represented strongly. Okay? You have a cohesive understanding of what your value is. Do you understand what I mean by that? So because when you're talking to these influencers, you don't want them to get in the habit of thinking that your time is not worth value, okay? Because it is, right? So when you have conversations with them, you also want to make sure that there's going to be a point in your relationship where that value is expressed, okay? That you are seen as valuable, right? Okay, yeah, yeah, all bigwigs have open ears for random call. Yeah, you want to make sure that you have expressed to them your value, meaning, your time is money, you have X amount of clients, or you normally, that you're charging a certain amount. But you want to make sure that at first you don't necessarily express that, right? At first you just say, listen, the reason I want to do this is because I would love to be able to help you. I mean, I'd love to be able to help you grow in this because it only helps me. But at some point, you're going to be also wanting to make sure your time and energy that you put into something is of value. So once you start doing these two things, where you're starting to help the influencer, you're also going to want to share what value you have, so that when your influencer says, you know what, this guy gave me his time. He gave me his time, which is worth X amount of dollars. His software is worth $500 a year, and he gave it to me for free for nothing. So once you express that, they see you as not just obviously just some random person that is helping them out and they want to hire you, because maybe you don't want to get hired by them. You are more interested in having them kind of talk about you and for you to grow your business, rather than you to start working for them or something to that effect. Does this make sense? Right? What do you think? Does this make sense? Put a 1 in the chat if this makes sense. Have value, but give value and don't ask for anything, right? Do you see that? I know there's a dichotomy between those two, but at the same time, there's also a very good relationship, right? A very good relationship. You want to give, right? You want to give to these people. Make sure that you're offering up your services, but at the same time, you want to start showing what your value is all about. Do you ask them to talk about you? No. They will talk about you. They will talk about you. If you are helping them unconditionally, but at the same time you're saying, they know, well, what Casey charges, $1,000 for his coaching, or Casey is charging $500 for his software. If they know that you have a price tag on what you're offering normally, right? You're not just this is not the free stuff that you give away, but this is the premium stuff that you give away that they are getting for free. If they see that, they'll talk about it for you. It will be an underlining understanding that this is probably what's going to happen. If they don't do anything with it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But chances are, 9 times out of 10, I guarantee it, 9 times out of 10, if you do something for somebody, they are going to be giving back, okay? Right? A great investment to market yourself. Whoa-ma. Makes sense in rom-com. Tricky sometimes when you consult versus offer a product. People always want to pick your brain. Yeah. So the thing is, it's up into a point where you want to offer your services. So that's why I'm saying provide value, because what happens if you offer something to somebody and then they come back to you more and more and over again saying, hey, Casey, I want you to, can you check this out? And I can't really figure out why this webinar is not working. Or, if you're offering too much of your time, it's normally because of the fact that you did not express your value enough. You didn't express to that person that this is my value. So, and you have to understand that, yes, I want to do this for you because I want you to succeed, because if you succeed, I succeed. But at the same time, there's a fine line between how much time I can give you versus how much time I am giving you. And that comes organically with time. If you start seeing that person is relying too much on you because you're not giving enough of your value, showing enough of your value, right? You're saying, yes, of course. Well, here, I'll stay on the phone with you for 4 hours. If they're abusing your time, that's where you're not expressing how much value you have enough. If that makes sense. Does this make sense? Now, sometimes if they start doing that, you got to be like, listen, I just don't have time right now to do that, or something to that effect, right? If someone is abusing your time, that's a totally different subject, right? But these are my suggestions. These are the things that I've done. I'm just telling you the things that I've done. I've worked with, top people. I just finished doing something with Ryan Lee. I'm going to be doing something with Jim Quick. I don't know if you know who Jim Quick from Superhero HQ, who works with all sorts of people. And I'm essentially, I offer my time up to these guys because of the fact that, I want them to succeed. By them succeeding, yeah, the memory guy, exactly. By them succeeding, I benefit. I benefit somehow, right? I benefit somehow. The nice thing is that, everybody that comes to an easy webinar page that I set up for these guys is an opportunity to sell my product, right? Now, and I never say, oh, well, will you promote me? That's just not what I would never, ever put that out there, but they end up wanting to promote because I'm just more interested in them succeeding with their webinar. So that's the idea behind this. One, give value and don't ask for anything in return, okay? You're reaching out to someone that has a sphere of influence that's greater than yours, and you're offering up some sort of service to them, right? That will help them grow, help them with some sort of pain point that they're experiencing. And how do you find that? That might be one of your questions. Well, Casey, how do I know, based on what I do, how do I know that that person's having issues or problems? It's very easy to see, calculate, or determine just by simply going to their website or going to their, funnel and determining, if they are someone who would be a good candidate for you, right? Someone who might need help with, ad copy, or someone who might need help with Facebook, running Facebook ads, or someone that might need help with video creation or video marketing or anything. Someone who might need help. We have pain points. Someone who might need help with social media stuff. Someone who might need help with Instagram. Someone has a really good Facebook, but they're not doing Instagram. Maybe you offer something for free for a period of time. You're saying, hey, I would love to, here, I made some Instagram images that you can use. That is what has always worked for the people that have reached out to me. Every time someone reached out to me, for instance, my designer who made thousands upon thousands of dollars off of me thus far, is because that he reached out to me a while ago and said, Casey, I just want to let you hear, I created a new logo for you. I thought this was better than the logo that, I thought you may want to check out this new logo. It's like, it's in more of a flat design, which is more popular. And so here it is. You could just use it. No strings attached. Go ahead and use it. It's not like he said, hey, Casey, that's going to be $60 for that logo, or Casey, that's going to be $200 for that logo. No, he said, I just want you to have this. From that moment, I got something for free from him. And I was like, oh, I really like it. It looks cool. I started asking for more, and he started giving more. And then I brought him in, and he started working on the design for, easy webinar and design for all sorts of other stuff. And said, and then having done that, he grew more and more and more. And that's the whole point of it, is that you can actually, you can reach out to someone and give them something that they're thirsting for, without expecting anything back. And trust me, they are going to love it. Okay, that same thing happened to the person that's doing my content marketing right now. They were doing so many offers for free for the content marketing, and eventually they showed me, just how awesome they are, right? And based on that, that's when I was like, yeah, well, this is a no-brainer. Why wouldn't I hire you, right? But then at the end of the day, they also came out and let me know of their value, okay? Did you initiate paying him eventually, or did he just tell you his prices? So I told him, I don't feel comfortable not paying you, is what happened. And that's, a good person is going to be that way. A good person is going to be that way. But the thing is, if I didn't reach out to him, I would have had a free logo, and that was it. So, his time, it would have only costed him the time of having to create a new logo. Chances are I wouldn't have reached out to him if I didn't want to have him, build an entire site for me, right? Hey, Venus, what's going on? Thank you. Yeah, Vegas was fun. So that's when I knew, it wasn't like I was going to say, hey, will you build my website for free? I wasn't going to say that, because I know his time is valuable. Because he also expressed to me in that conversation about his logo, what he's done, who he's working for, and what he's been doing. And that let me know, well, listen, I'm not going to just make this guy, I'm not going to make him pay to do my website for free. but he offered me a heck of a good deal when he was going to build my website. And that, you know, that was a lead-in to me hiring him to do more and more. So again, you know, if you want to reach different spheres of influence, the best thing you could do is offer. Unfortunately, too many people are takers. Yeah. Well, you know, if you have people that you know, that you respect and that are in a higher sphere of influence, if they are takers, they're not the people that you want to be paying attention to anyway, right? They're not the people that you want to connect with or that you're interested in resonating with. And you know, once you find that out, those people that you thought were mentors don't become mentors anymore. And you know, it's a good wake-up call for some of you to experience that, right? To know, well, this person's not the person for me. You know, I thought they were until I noticed that they were taking advantage of my time, right? This makes sense? So, you know, you'll get that, you'll experience that, you'll know that. But again, as I said, those two elements were the top. It's how I exponentially grew my business, grew it through word of mouth by going and finding people that have a higher sphere of influence, doing something for free for them, right, without asking for anything back, okay, offering my service, right, and then second to that was telling them and making sure they understood the value that I had, right? So that it wasn't just, you know, me running a service and opening a door for them to take advantage of me. It was more so me showing them that normally that I want to do this for you, and this is more of me gifting this. This is not something I give away to everyone. This is something that I want to do for you specifically. So it's, you know, it's having that understanding and making that communication without, of course, saying I want you to give me something back, right? You just you just have to make sure that your value is somehow represented in a conversation that you're having. Does this make sense? Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming to this broadcast. I think that's it for this particular broadcast. Thank you. You can share news of this on the replay, volunteering to start with hope of something more. Yes, exactly. That's right. Yes, good sense. Good. Excellent. And feel free to share this with your friends and followers and fans. Thank you so much for coming to the broadcast. And hopefully you got my email. If you are one of our Full Scope members, you got my email that talked about Full Scope. If you have not joined Full Scope yet, go to fullscope.tv. It's a marketing and analytic tool for Periscope. And if you would like to know how I built my business using the power of webinars, if you're interested in that, you can go to, let me give you a URL you can go to. It's WEBINARMINICOURSE.com. Right there, you could take a screenshot of that, WebinarMiniCourse.com. I know I'm using Webinar Mini, there we go, see it? WebinarMiniCourse.com. I had affiliated to Partners, Casey. Webinar Mini Course, yes, that's right. You can take a screenshot if you need to. Yeah, WebinarMiniCourse.com. That will get you into my free Webinar Mini Course that also has a free workbook that goes along with it, and it will teach you everything you want to know about using the power of webinars to build your business and brand, using the power of webinars to build a list and sell your products and services. Okay? All right. Thank you guys so much. You were all awesome. Thank you, Tawana and the rest. Thank you, Venus. Thank you for coming. You are all amazing. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Okay. I'll talk to you.